Hi guys, so today I'm going to be talking about methods, and I made a simple one here that creates solid blocks as the example. So methods are essentially just set instructions that take in parameters, which we'll get to in a minute, and these set instructions are useful because we can repeat them over and over again without having to um, write every single instruction. So in my turtle.java file, it contains all of the different methods for the turtles. So one like letter L or one that makes a triangle. The one I made for this demonstration is called solid block. And this is super simple and it just makes a solid block of whatever size you want. So in determining what size you want, we're going to use a parameter within our method. Um, some methods can have a lot more parameters. This one just has one to keep it really simple. We only need one because we're going to be making a cube, and a cube is equal on all sides. If this was for a rectangle or a trapezoid, we'd need a height and a width. So our method starts out with this right here saying public void. Public meaning that any other file can access it and run this, and void meaning this isn't going to return anything. So if we made a method that did a calculation and had to return the resulting value, this might say integer or double, but for us it's void because we're just moving turtles around. And then here is the name of the method, which is in camel case, and is going to be used to call it or to essentially play this method. So the way this one's set up is that it loops for every, or sorry, it loops the size of the block in units, which are pixels, and as it goes back and or as it loops each time, it goes up, over, and down again. So we can see this if statement determines whether our loop is positive or negative. So on its first pass or on its first loop, it's going to go up and it's going to be an even number. So it's going to turn to the right move one forward 1 pixel, turn right, which so make it head down again, and then it'll go the distance of the size. And then on the next loop, it will go um, and it'll be making a left. So let's look at how we call it. So this is the main part of the program, which we have to first set up our objects. So that's like the world, our three turtles. We're only going to use one to start with, and then we'll play with the other turtles. We're going to need our variables, which is the size of the block we want. And then we need to call the function. So rather than writing like t1 dot forward 10 and then t1 dot right, or sorry, turn right, we don't have to do that over and over and over again. We can just use the method. So if you notice on our turtle file, the method name is solid block, and so that's exactly what we're going to call here, is the exact same name. And then also where that we had that integer parameter, we're going to be putting in a number, which is, they're labeled the same, but they don't have to be, which is 300. So this is going to make us a block of the size of 300. So let's see how that runs. So it runs pretty good. Here are our two turtles that we haven't told to do anything yet, but here's our 300 by 300 solid block. So each time for all 300 pixels in width, it went up 300, it made a turn, it went down 300, it made a turn, and it did this 300 times. So it took about as much effort as if we didn't use a method to just make it do it once. But what's cool about methods is we can call it over and over again. So here is a different turtle, T2, and we're going to make it do the exact same thing, but it's going to be 200 less, so it's going to be 100. And now we don't have to do any extra work, as in rewriting manually all of the actions for this turtle to make. So let's see how that looks. So that one's pretty cool. It's 1/3 the size of the other one, um, and it's in blue because the turtle is it's a different turtle. So what we can also do is we don't have to use size. Um, we can just put an integer straight in there, so like 20, or we can change it to 300. But let's try 29. See how it works. And so there's our one that's even smaller than the other ones. So the important thing about methods is that they take in parameters that you have to get right. Like we can't do 29a. We'll have a compiling error. The parameter input must be the what is expected that's written in the method. But what's nice about this is we essentially have a recipe now, and we can just easily repeat it over and over again. Thanks for watching my video.